everybody, welcome back to another Random Sam Epic Mom, and today it's time for another book review. And what I am sharing is actually a book I've had for quite some time. And this is kind of the beginning of a series. The author is Stephanie Lawrence, and this one is the Bastion Club series. Now, this one takes place right after the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon has finally been defeated, all that. It's not that waiting period anytime. And it's, let me see the exact year that it's taking place. 1815, guys. And there is a prequel to this series, which is awesome. I have the whole series. It's a really great one. I do enjoy historical romances. If you guys haven't figured out, I do love romances. And in this one, you've got a group of men who were spies during the war. So while everybody was, up front with what they did, where they fought and everything, these were the guys that were behind enemy lines, breaking down the trade routes, trying to make everything so difficult for the enemy so that England could survive. Now, in this one, they all get together, this group of men. Some of them knew each other, some of them didn't, but they all, in one form or the other, were aware of each other. And they all worked under the same spy master. Well, after years of pretty much being stuck behind enemy lines while everybody else could come home occasionally or have camaraderie, they were on their own, each of these guys. And in doing all this, they've been away from the ton. These are all titled gentlemen who they haven't had to deal with the matchmaking mamas. They haven't had to deal with society standards. And to go from being part of a very dangerous situation to now pretty much being hunted by those same matchmaking mamas because so many men died in the war. So titled rich, and somehow each of these men have become rich. Gentlemen have pretty much now are being hunted down for their fortunes, for their eligibility, and they want a final bastion of solace, some place where they can run and hide, just like when they were spies behind the war, gather information to, let each other know who's dangerous, who's not, all that. And in this first book, not only do they form this club, the Bastion Club, they have bought a clubhouse. Someplace where they don't have to stay with their family, who are also trying to matchmake them and everything. And the main character in this one is Tristan. And his full name is Tristan Wise, Earl of Trentham. Now, he never expected to be an earl. He pretty much thought, okay, I'm, the Earl's nephew because it was his grandfather's brother. And the previous Earl had so many female dependents that he wasn't allowed to leave. He was just stuck at home. So in order to get his kind of revenge from the grave, he's made it so that Tristan cannot leave anything. And if he's not married by a certain date, he will lose the entire fortune. The fortune will be donated to causes and such, and he'll be stuck supporting 14 or 16 little old ladies. These are various cousins, aunts, just female relatives. And he is stuck being taken care of them. So he's kind of in a, oh God, I've got to find a wife, but it's got to be the right one who's going to be okay with all these dependents, who is not going to, hate me for not having it. So he's got a townhouse where he's got like half of his little old ladies there. His country manor, which has the other half of the little old ladies there. And he has no idea what he's doing. He's like, oh God, this is my great uncle's revenge. I have no idea how I'm going to survive this. So he's got a clock doing it. But since the group has just bought a place and he has to be in town the most, he's decided, okay, I'm going to oversee the plans, do all that. Well, during the renovations and everything, he meets the neighbor. And she comes straight up and says, hey, did you try to purchase our family's home? And he's like, no, I didn't do it. And there's just been a calamity after calamity, break-ins into her home, just, kind of danger being out there. And this mystery and intrigue is bringing her to his attention. And the more he gets to know her, the more he realizes, wait a second, right next door is the perfect woman. And you're going to see all sorts of mishaps because, again, if you're not used to the social world, if you're not used to having to step lightly not to offend people, it's a dangerous thing for these guys. So for Tristan, it's like, oh God, how am I going to approach this? How am I going to encourage her to, want to see if we would make a good pair? And throughout it, scandal of getting caught with him helping her, and then seeing how she's going to handle his little old ladies. And it's just something as simple as him taking her for a ride in the country and introducing her to them. And him seeing her, pretty much corral them and organize them and just be completely sweet to them. It's like, oh my God, I found. So I love this series because not only this one, but it seems like everyone in this series, these former spies, are going to get help their former spy master wrap up things. And whether it's family members, other Bastion Club members, just society in general, they're going to help each other. They're going to be there, and you're just going to see all these characters, fall in love, find the right woman. Because you got to remember, guys, back then, you did not marry for love most of the time, especially if you were titled. You were expected to make a good match. It had to be, she was bringing in a good bloodline, or she had a good dowry, or he could help out the family finances, or she was an heiress who could patch up his. There was always a million and one things, and love usually wasn't the most common thing for aristocracy. So I love how each of these guys find their perfect match, and the funniest way they come about meeting them. So any one of these books is fine standalone book. It doesn't have so much information that it's like, oh God, what are they hinting at? But to read it in order, you just see each one, and you see each, gentleman fall for the right lady, and it's just honestly amazing. It is wonderful. It is, I don't want to just say hilarious because I say that a lot, but the intrigue will kind of keep you on your toes. And I love the idea that in our crazy society that we have today, imagine having to live in a society where you had to dress a certain way, you had to act a certain way, and if you didn't, you brought scandal to your whole family. It wasn't just, your actions never just affected you, it affected everybody in your family, in your social sphere. And it's just amazing, some of the little things were the littlest things. Like if you were caught, if a man and woman were caught, even just talking in a room with no supervision and standing too close, it would be a scandal. And it's just hilarious. I'm sorry, that's the only way to say it. It's funny, it's intriguing, it's always worth a read. It is always worth, scanning another page, seeing what's going on. And I hope that if you guys get a chance, please give Stephanie Lawrence a try, because again, I started reading her years ago, and I found this author by another author at the end of the books. A lot of times they'll have other, descriptions of other books that author's written, or they'll have recommendations sometimes of other books by different authors. And sometimes you'll find a really neat author just going through that, and that's what I did with this one. You probably can't see it too much. I've got shelves upon shelves of her books, and I'm still reading them. She's still coming out with them. The characters still have these connections. I love her groupings of them and her standalone novels, and she's just definitely worth a read, guys. So please check out Stephanie Lawrence. I will leave a link in the description to her website, and you can get her books pretty much anywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, just pretty much anywhere you can get her books. But please, guys, give it a read. Find a book that you really enjoy. I personally love romance. I love it in any type of genre, whether it's historical, contemporary, futuristic, sci-fi, paranormal. It doesn't matter. I love it. But, you know, maybe you need true crime. Maybe you need horror. You know, find what's really going to grip you and make you want to turn the next page. Find that type of reading that you're going to end up staying up till midnight and having to force yourself to put the book down because it's that good. They're out there, guys, and it's a wonderful experience. So please join us again for another book review, and I'll hopefully talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Please check out our other videos already on YouTube, and give us a like and subscribe. And if you hit that bell for notifications, you'll know when we put something new out. So try to make every day matter by finding the fun. You guys have a great one. Bye.